Hi Pisces, welcome to your weekly energy reading for the 24th of April 2017. We'll get straight in and pull out 7 cards. Okay, so the first energy that comes into play for us in this time period, not necessarily for Monday, though these cards, because I've pulled out 7, we could be doing Monday to Sunday, but the most important energy, what we're focused on as we come into the week, is the 7 of Cups. So we're looking at what choices are available to us as we enter the week. We're looking at a lot of options. They could be surrounding a love situation, a search for love, a look for love, or a career situation. Either way, something that still we are passionate about. It fuels the passions of our desires, and we have an intensity of wanting to move forward with it. So options are available to us as we come into the week for a new beginning. The Fool, the complete innocence, start again of a new cycle. Now, I'm not sure if last week's reading we did have a completion of a cycle, but to be honest with the Piscean energy, for the last few months I think we have been collecting up some completions. But the Fool sits and talks about a brand new beginning and being willing. He is willing to take a risk. He is willing to take a chance on something. So we're willing to take a chance on options that are around us this week. Of something new coming in. Of trying something new. Trusting our intuition, that is the way to go. And the Knight of Wands, he's the fast energy. Can represent air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but he's the one that's yay, excitement, enthusiasm, let's go. And the way he sits in the reading, he's rushing off into the future. He's made his choice. He's looked to the Cups, he's made his choice as the Fool, and he's turned around and he's off, following his desires, looking, searching for his truth, wanting to speak his truths. He can be a little bit too opinionated, and if it is us in our air energy, we could be a little bit too forward, moving a little bit too fast. But it's an eagerness, and an eagerness to want to get going in something. The next card we have is the 9 of Wands. Now the 9 of Wands talks about defending ourselves, a need to defend ourselves. It's about putting ourselves in protection mode. The back of the card won't help you guys, will it? Putting ourselves in a protection mode regarding ourselves, our emotions, our property, or defending our actions. So are we going to make a choice here? Take a chance and it be a foolish choice, or we rush in foolishly and we're having to defend what we've done. It does talk about making sacrifices in the past to attain where we want to be now. Making compromises in the now because of sacrifices were made in the past. Maybe they were passionate sacrifices or desires that we walked away from, that we sacrificed. We didn't follow a passion. We didn't follow a career choice in these choices that were given. With the King of Wands, he is all about action. So even though the Knight of Wands here, we talk about the swift action moving forward, and no more waiting around, it's time to move on a situation. The King of Wands talks about, implementing that action, being self-motivated, being sociable, finding practical solutions to problems, exploring our passions and desires. And it can be looking to the new people, new places. That is followed by the Ace of Cups, which the Ace of Cups talks about a new beginning in the matters of the heart, in connections, in bonds with people, be it relationship, loving bonds, family bonds. But there's a offer, a chance of something else coming in, and it being a very nice offer, and that is paired with the Ace of Wands, which is a new start, passionate new start. So if we've assessed our passions, looked at our passions and desires, and realised it's time to strive forward, are we ready for a new emotional and passionate start this week? Choices. There's a certain amount of risk we've got to take with these choices to give us a brand new start in something that we are enthusiastic about going forward with. Maybe we protect ourselves a little bit too much, and we should look at our emotions, our passions, and what fuels us to move forward before making this choice. In this choice, we want to fulfill the offer of the emotional side and the passionate side of our nature. There could be a foolish choice that leads us to restriction and having to defend. Maybe a foolish choice that puts us in a position of saying something or rushing into something too quickly, and we have got to defend ourselves. We have got to protect ourselves. I mean, the King of Wands could talk to a air sign. So we could be talking to, one sign, fire sign, so we could be talking to Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius here. And when we look at this reading, we have wands, a full line of them. The passion, the desires regarding something this week are definitely in focus. That actually came that way, didn't it, guys? I'm sorry. But we have still got 3, 4, because we've got the Knight of Wands too. So the majority of cards talk to the ones which can talk to our career, very much so. It can talk to our ambitions, our drive, our want to move forward, our enthusiasm with things. So maybe a good sense of enthusiasm this week with the 4 wands that we've got laid on the table. Maybe a little bit too much, and we just might have to be wary of that a little bit. Though the offers that are there and the willingness to accept something new and start something new may be very exciting, and maybe exactly what the young, passionate, the new passionate desires inside us want. We might run ahead a little bit too quickly and have to find ourselves protecting our claims, protecting our beliefs, protecting our choices. Moving into that excuse me, fire energy though, moving into our creative nature, and it could be a creative project, not just work, but letting creativity flow within us. Is probably the key to getting the new starts in an emotional nature and the passionate nature of the creativity. Maybe it will birth a new creative idea this week. Maybe it is a career situation, and we've decided we need something that is passionate. We're passionate about. We love doing the job. This card offers fulfillment, contentment. And really the perfect ace for being there. Apart from this one. And you've got this one too. The Fool talks to all the air signs, so we could be talking Aquarius, Libra, Gemini here. We could be talking about our mental clarity. Our mental agility with the Fool. It is a mental choice as to which one he takes, which adventure, which cup seems the most promising to him. With the 9 of Wands, the 9's talk of intensity. It's the near completion of the one cycle. We're protecting ourselves before taking them last steps and realising we can put down situations. I think we're protecting a choice here. Some choice that we're going to make this week. We're going to have to defend and protect it. Maybe we're making a choice to protect ourselves. I usually think as well, you know, when a card's looking straight at you, this dragon's face, he's not looking at any of the cards, he's not looking in any direction, he's looking straight at you as the querent. And quite intently, actually. Which says to me, you take the action. This is about you being in this element. So I do feel more, it is our passionate nature that we're sat in this week, Pisces. Not so much another fire energy around us. We're feeling the burning of passions and desires for something. It could be a change. One of these choices that's offered this week. We're feeling the passion in our guts. We know we want to make advancements in a passionate nature. Now, the aces do talk of new beginnings. So, I mean, we're talking 2 new beginnings there by the end of the week, if we can work out what this energy is regarding and follow it correctly. And 2 aces together also for me can talk about partnerships, can talk about business partnerships or loving partnerships. The coming together, the union of something, be it of a creative nature that you love. It could be that finding the right job that you love. It could very easily be that this week. The only thing I would really pull on this week is be careful in what choices are offered. You know the scenario now of how the choices affect us. And yeah, we might be very, very eager to jump in and have a new start. But look at them logically first. You know, no matter which one you choose, there's either someone coming in trying to cut you down for it and tell you can't do it, or run away. You want to run away with the idea very swiftly, and you find a blockage. You find you've got to protect yourself, you've got to defend yourself, or defend how you passionately feel about the situation. And that's going to happen either way, if it's the right choice or the wrong choice. So take the time, make sure it's the right choice you choose in any options given to you this week. So if you are defending and having to protect yourself, you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not doing it for a cup that's not going to bear you benefits in the future. I would also say the King of Wands, because, I mean, he is in control of his passions. You know, he has mastered it. But in these cards, I sort of see him all differently. And this guy is intense. He's full of passion. He's full of fire. He just wants to go. You know, the stance that he's got towards you on this card is he could open them wings any minute and engulf you. He's got you. I'm being sat with the Fool. This Fool's quite naive. I mean, he's willing to take a risk. Make sure it's the right risk this week. Make sure it's the right risk. Even though we have got the Fool linked to passionate desires brings a new passionate beginning. We could read it like that. Protecting ourselves when being in the position of the Fool can give us a new emotional start. Choices made with the desires under control can move us forward, and we can make quite, I mean, the very positive of this is he can make very fast advancements forward. Once he's set his mind to it, we can be moving very swiftly forward. So it could be that too. Right, I wasn't going to do this, but just 3 cards for over the general, and then we'll be calling it a day with this reading, Pisces. As always, if you need anything else or you want to look into it in more detail, as I always say, there's not enough time. I end up spending hours and hours on videos, and they just end up far too long because I get so into what I'm doing and reading that time is irrelevant, and then I'm in a situation where I can't upload them because they are that big. And so we have the 4 of Chalices, the Moon and the Chariot. So the 4 of Chalices talks about the 4 of Cups. We're missing an opportunity here. So there's 7 cups in front of us in this choices card. Maybe we're not seeing one. Make sure we're seeing all the cups. We're seeing all the options open to us. The next card to it is the Moon, which talks about fears. It talks about doubts. It talks about mysteries, the unseen, things looking better in a foggy environment, something hidden, which again the 4 of Cups can talk about something hidden. Look for any hidden agendas. This guy gets to the truth of the matter. So if there is any hidden agendas, that's why he's here, to say, look at the truth. Go in search, find every single option that's available. Make sure the one isn't hidden, or delve into each option clearly, so you have got a clear view of what's in front of you before making that choice. And the right choice will lead to the Chariot and movement forward. The Chariot does talk of a Cancerian, and the Moon talks of all water signs. So we could be talking about ourselves with the Moon and touching our own intuition and letting our intuition help us. And the Chariot talks about having that good alignment, listening to the masculine and the feminine within us, getting them to work together to move this Chariot forward. But the Chariot does talk of movement and travel as much as the Knight of Swords does. So advancements, the Knight of Wands, sorry, advancements can be made. Can be made. I did read that as the Knight of Swords when I said he's searching for the truth, the hidden factors, and maybe was a slip of the tongue. Well, it was, because he is the Knight of Wands. But that's the character we need. I've seen that, so that's what we need regarding these choices this week. Don't settle for anything that you feel something's still missing, or it doesn't, you can't see it clearly. The option to take is the clear, precise option that even when, yeah, it might look good in daylight, but even when it's in the darker side of the moonlight, it's still a good option. That's how we protect ourselves. We can move forward to two beautiful starts in something. I'm quite excited to see what next week's read's going to be, actually. And I think next week it will be the monthlies coming out for May. I don't know how I'm going to tie them in, but They look fantastic cards, really. Just be mindful that we could probably rush off a little bit too excited about something here. I mean, if we have been the fool and made this choice and we've made the right choice and we know it's the right choice, then yeah, I could see us running off and we may say something and somebody shoot us down with it, so we've got to defend it here. But things moving fast once the choice is made, so there could be a lot of movement by the middle of the week. Work out something that's confusing to ourselves and be able to move on to new beginnings by the end of the week. I hope that's helped, and that does help with the energies this week, guys. Thank you again for watching. Any problems, anything you want to chat about, anything in there more we can look at, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks again for calling. See you soon. Bye.